good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I want to welcome you on here today. Thank you all so much for jumping on and taking some time out of your busy day to get on here and talk to our incredible, or listen to our incredible Maria Williams. Now, I first want to just tell you a bit about myself before I start to go into Maria. So I'm a mum of two little girls. I've been doing Lifevantage for the last 2 years. I'm a Pro 4 in the company on the Sunshine Coast. I absolutely love this industry and this company. I'm so obsessed with it. And I'm here to try and show other mums that we can do things like this for ourselves while we still have our kids at home with us. And I'm very passionate about showing mums that. My partner works away in the mine, so I'm someone who wants to bring him home from that sort of industry and be able to be a family every single day like we know we should be. So enough about me. Let's talk about Maria. So Maria is, she's my upline. She's an absolutely incredible mentor. We love her so much. And she's also a wife and a mother herself. And she's an amazing entrepreneur. And Maria was born in Brazil. So she was actually, you can see how amazing she is when she starts talking and how incredible she is as a person. But she was born in Brazil and she immigrated to the US when she was a baby. So she grew up in Massachusetts, where she majored in business administration, and she went into human HR, human resources manager, and she did that for 20 years in that industry before she went into the network marketing industry. And just her passion that she gives us is what motivates us. And the amount of knowledge that she knows and the amount of people in her team. Maria has 50,000 in her organization. What does that mean? That means she's touched the lives, or her team has touched the lives of 50,000 people. That's incredible. And we want to be a part of that. And so I absolutely love that, you know, that I've been introduced to this team and this company, and that Maria is one of my mentors. And when she's not doing calls for her team and helping her team out, she's a big family person, and so am I. And that's really important to all of us, you know, a part of this team. So I want to stop talking now, and I want to hand it over to our amazing Maria. So Maria, if you could unmute yourself, and welcome to the call.
I think I'm blushing a little bit because when you start this business, you don't realize what it's going to turn into, and you just have to believe. But let me tell you, first of all, I'm so grateful and be asked to be on this call today, and to be able to, well, this Zoom webinar, and to be able to share with you what we have our hands on, which has changed my life. And all I want is for people to get educated, learn what we have our hands on, and see it if it's something for them. So I'm super excited to be able to share my story with you and what we have our hands on, and to hopefully help you to see, you know, what we have and see if it resonates and speaks to you. So just my story, so you understand a little better how I even got involved in this industry, because it was very foreign to me. Lots of people hear about this and they don't really understand this direct sales network marketing business. Well, that's how I felt. I mean, I didn't know how this worked, you know, if I could have success. And I know you're probably thinking the same thing, whoever has shared this with you. But one thing that I found in this business is that when you fall in love with our products and our science, and you know what you have your hands on is a medical breakthrough, and you know the world has to know about it because it's changing lives, you want to be part of this. And it doesn't matter, because you learn everything, and it just comes to you. So everything can be learned. You don't have to know it all at first. So yes, born in Brazil, moved to the United States when I was a little baby. We lived in Massachusetts, which is on the East Coast. I went to school there, got married, worked in human resources for over 20-some years, worked 50, 60, 70 hours a week, never saw my boys growing up. And then in 2008, the economy was really, really bad. It was bad all over the world, and our family got hit with that bad economy. My husband was in the insurance industry and worked in Boston in the high financial district. Great job, but in one snap in a moment, his job was eliminated. His boss came in, where unfortunately we got to eliminate your job, your whole department, because of the bad economy. They had to consolidate different departments. So that day, thousands and thousands of people lost their jobs around the world also. And so he started looking for something, and he found something in Arizona. So we moved on the other side of the country, on the West Coast, to Arizona. And I told him I have no problem moving, but I'm not working. I'm not going to work 50, 60, 70 hours a week, never see my boys. I have no support system there. I don't have any family that can help me like they were helping me with my boys. They were 9 and 11 at the time. So I was going to stay home. And he said, fine, we'll adjust. And we did, we cut back, we adjusted, but you know, going from 2 incomes to 1 is very, very difficult. And so I started thinking after a year of being home, I have to find something to do. But I wanted flexibility. I wanted to be able to do something that I could still be a mom, that I could still be there with my 2 boys. I could go pick them up at school. I could drop them off. I could go to their field trips. I could go to their events. And as I was praying and trying to decide what could I do on a part-time basis that I could make a little bit of income to be able to go back home and visit my mom and dad. It was real important to me. When my neighbor, Carrie Williams, came over and for the kids to play in the pool, and she said, hey, I want you to watch this ABC investigative report. It's really interesting. I'm like, okay. So we got the kids situated and I watched that ABC investigative report. Now, I hope you have seen it already. If you have not, when we're done with this webinar, you need to go and watch it, because that was what got me interested in this business, was watching that ABC Primetime. So basically, ABC Primetime heard about this medical breakthrough. So I'm not making this up. It was on the Wall Street Journal. Scientist has major scientific breakthrough. They called it a scientific breakthrough. Scientific, now we know it's more of a medical breakthrough. But that's what got ABC, that news report, to go in and investigate, what does this company have? So normally, this particular type of investigation a program, they go in and they try to debunk stuff. They try to say, you're lying, that's false, that's not real information. And when you watch the ABC, how it unraveled in the research, and they took the host's blood. Now that could be scary, because they didn't know how that blood was going to come out, right? They took his blood, and in 2 weeks, his oxidative stress, oxidation in your body, which I'll explain in a second, his oxidation level had dropped 45%. Now, as a company, all we say is that your oxidation level, your oxidative stress level can drop an average of 40% in 30 days, right? So a whole month to drop 40%. And in 2 weeks, John Quinones's blood had dropped 45%, that oxidation, that inflammation in his brain, because oxidation is inflammation. They're all really connected. So when I saw that, the light bulb went off in my head. I was like, wow, this does what nothing else in the world does. And that got me super excited. But I started doing, my own research. I wanted to know, is this all true? Is this all, I knew enough about nutrition. I knew that we have these free radicals in our body, right? These bad things, we call them, in our body, which is, oxidative stress is just the medical term. When you look at diseases, they talk about oxidative stress. So it's just an abundance of free radicals. And I knew that antioxidants were good for free radicals. I was spending probably almost $500 on juices and supplements, all kinds of stuff, because they were good and they combated oxidative stress. And I had felt some good results with that, with this combination of $500 that I was spending. And then, so then I watched the ABC and I'm like, whoa, this isn't, what I realized was that one molecule of an antioxidant will destroy one free radical, and then the body eliminates it, gets rid of it. But what this ABC was saying is that this product, right, this science, what it was doing, it was turning on a switch in your body. And that switch, now we know, at the time they didn't even know this, crazy, but now we know that that switch is called Nrf2. They didn't know the mechanism of how that was all working. But so now they know that when you take our product Protandim and 5 herbal ingredients: green tea, turmeric, bacoba, ashwagandha, and milk thistle. But it's the exact synergy of these ingredients together. So you can't go buy the 5 and try to take them. You're not going to make our formula. That's why we have 11 patents protecting this product, so nobody can copy what we have. So when you take that, those herbs, they go into your cell and they turn on a switch. It's like going over to the wall and turning on the, a switch, and the lights come on. Well, what happens is lights come on in your cells, right? So it turns on the switch and it goes into your body. It finds a problem and it goes back and it says, hey, you need to make more of these survival genes, antioxidant enzymes that we have in our body. And Dr. Joe McCord, who formulated our product, he discovered one of those enzymes. That's called SOD. He received the Elia Crescent Award for that discovery, because that discovery changed medical history, the way they saw things, because that one enzyme, when it's active and you have lots of them in your body, what that one enzyme can do is destroy 1 million free radicals per second, every second of the day. So you see the difference? Either 1-to-1, take an antioxidant, one molecule kills one free radical, or you turn on these enzymes, and these enzymes, right, go out and they can destroy millions of free radicals per second, every second of the day. So what happens, what these enzymes are doing, is they are cleaning up your cell. I have a PowerPoint slide and I show an apple. And you can do this, right? If you cut an apple and put it on your counter, the apple turns brown. That's oxidation. That's the exact same thing that happens inside our body, is our cells get damaged. And as your cells get damaged, that leads to diseases, whatever you're predisposed to. And I'm not making this stuff up. I want you to go to pubmed.gov. That's PUBMED.gov. In the United States, that is the National Health website. That is where research is, once it's been reviewed, peer-reviewed, it gets published and it gets into that website. And so all the studies have been reviewed, gone through a review process to validate that they are accurate and what is said in that study is accurate. So if you go there, this is what I did when I first heard of this information, and please do the same thing. I went in and I typed in oxidative stress. At the time, there was about, I think, 100,000 studies. Today, I think we're close to almost 200,000 studies on oxidative stress. And I could see all these different diseases. So then I typed in oxidative stress and diabetes, because my mom and dad were both diabetics. And so popped up 6,000 studies. That was 7 years ago. Now I know that there's way more than 6,000 studies. And then I started typing in all different types of diseases, cancers, heart disease, Crohn's, lupus, MS, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, whatever came to mind, right? And there was studies after studies. So what I'm saying is that almost every disease that's out there, you go look it up, there's some kind of research and it's linked to this oxidative stress. And all our product does is it reduces that oxidative stress. And when it reduces that oxidative stress by increasing those enzymes in our body, it's your body that heals itself. It's your body that has the right information now, and it knows how to heal yourself, because our bodies are magical. They know how to heal ourselves. The problem is we've got pesticides, herbicides, toxins, all these bad stuff, right, in our environment, right? Bad foods, all that stuff that we have in our environment. When I say bad foods, I say processed foods, right? Healthy foods are good for you, and they're full of great antioxidants that are natural. But we've got all this bad stuff that we're breathing in every day that's getting exposed into our skin, right? And so our body's constantly battling, trying to get the toxins out to keep you healthy. But it becomes overwhelming. And that's why the top 3 killers in the world, heart disease, cancers, and diabetes, they're on the rise. They're not going down. There are not drugs that can get rid of these diseases. So we need to take our own health into our hands. And that's what I was doing, because I was feeling really, really tired, not feeling well. A year before I heard about all of this, I had been with a doctor, my blood wasn't quite right. And so they did some testing and they thought that I had leukemia. And it came back that it wasn't leukemia, but I just wasn't right. And so I'm feeling really, really tired, just not feeling myself. And I'm like, well, I'm getting older, right? I'm getting closer to 50. So it must be, this is what you feel when you start to get old. I didn't know. And so then I saw that ABC. I realized that I was going to get on the product. And so I got on the product, and within 2 to 3 weeks, I just started feeling my energy back. I started feeling like when I was younger, full of energy, mental clarity, sleeping really, really soundly. And I just started feeling amazing. Little things went away, aches and pains, knees hurting. My sciatic nerve was probably inflamed. And that kind of all started slipping away. And just feeling way better. And I'm like, there is something huge with this product here. And so then when I looked at the business side of it, so right off the bat, I got what we call is a pack to get into the business. I said, well, if I do nothing, I have enough product for 4 months for my family, right? I didn't know what I was going to do with this. So I got the pack, started getting on the product, told my mom and dad right away, because they're diabetics. They were, well, one of them, they were diabetics, right? Fast forward today, my dad's no longer diabetic, no longer takes medication. Just unbelievable. And so I'm not saying that Protandim cures, treats, or prevents any disease. It's what it does. It activates Nrf2. And when you activate Nrf2 in your body, it's your body that begins to heal itself the correct way. And so when I looked at this, I was like, wow, the science is there. I love this product. It's a publicly traded company. Today we're on NASDAQ, so you can see all the financials of the company, where they were, what happens. You can see all the good and the bad and the ugly. And that was important to me, because not being publicly traded, I just know that I felt more security being publicly traded, because when they say this is what they're making and this is, I can go see the financials. When a company says, oh, we're doing great, and then they close down 2 weeks later, it's like, whoa, I thought you were doing great. But in a publicly traded company, you can go look at the financials and you can go see, are they making money? Are they really having the sales that they're saying they're having? That's all disclosed. You can get on the quarterly earnings report and listen to our CEO talk about the future plans, what's going on, what plans he has in place, so you know the trajectory of where this company is going. So I just started going out there and talking and sharing this with people. And yes, we've got tons of customers because of this product and what it does. And along the way, looking for some people that want to be distributors, people that see what we have our hands on. And honestly, people that, if that's you today, that want to change your life, want more out of life, want a more purposeful life, don't like your job, not making enough money, need extra income. There are a million different reasons, but I truly believe that if someone asked you to get on this webinar, that most likely you were looking and asking God or praying to the universe, whatever you believe in, you were looking and asking for something, because I know I was. And 99% of the people that get exposed to this, they are looking for something. It could just be better health, or it could be more wealth in their life, right? To do more of the stuff that they want to do with their families. We had worked so hard, but I realized that I was just away from my kids so much. And that's not good. That's not good when mom and dad are not there with your kids. So I looked at this really as a business, and I said, boy, wow, imagine nobody knows about this. This company's on the ground floor, and we still are 7 years later. But today, you are positioned so much better than I was 7 years ago. Why? Because 7 years ago, I think we only had 6 studies. Today, we have 26 studies. Today, we understand what Nrf2 activation is. Today, there is a drug on the market for MS that is a Nrf2 activator, because pharmaceutical companies are racing right now to try to develop drugs that will be Nrf2 activators. Why? Because Nrf2 reduces oxidative stress, and oxidative stress is linked to the root cause of diseases. So if pharmaceutical companies are doing it, don't you think we're onto something also? And the amazing thing is that this is affordable, and anyone can take this for any type of disease. And so that MS drug that's on the market, that company, a pharmaceutical company, Biogenetic, they did a study against our product, and what they found is that Protandim Nrf2 activator was the most potent Nrf2 activator in the world, more potent than their pharmaceutical drug and all the other products that they had tested. So we know today still we are the most potent Nrf2 activator in the world, and I really believe that it's going to be close to impossible for anyone to get close to what we have. First of all, our products are patented, so no one can copy our formula. They got to go and reinvent a different formula. And Dr. McCord took about 50 herbs to narrow it down to these 5 herbs. So I don't think that, we're going to be able, anyone out there is going to be able to copy and duplicate what we have. So we are the leader in this Nrf2 activation. We are the most potent in the world. Think of that. So in Australia, we're just getting started in Australia. It gives me goosebumps even thinking about it. We're just at the beginning. You are where I was 7 years ago. Really? That's where you are. There was just a handful of distributors here and there. I don't know, maybe you have 1,000 distributors there. I know our team just hit 1,000 total people in our team in Australia, and I'm super excited for them. And that's a combination of customers and distributors, but total of Australia is 1,000. In the US, I would say there's actually only 5,000 really active distributors that are building this business in the United States. And we have 300 million Americans here. You guys have 22 million Australians, and only a handful know about this. So what does that mean? That means that you have so much potential. When I looked at this as a business, I knew I was going to take the product. But the one thing with my business background that I looked at and that made me want to do this business was the timing. Like, I would have taken the product and not done the business if, everyone had known about this product, right? If it was really out there, because then to me, I've lost that opportunity. But timing was the thing, realizing that we were on the ground floor, right, of this, and I still believe we really are, and that we could go out into the world and spread this. That gave us the most opportunity. And still today, with all these different countries that we're opening up that you can be part of, just because you're in Australia doesn't mean that that's where you're at. Janelle, who introduced me, she has a team in Canada, of all places, right? And it's the coolest thing, because as you meet people and connect with people, people have family everywhere. The reason we got to Australia was because of someone here in the US who their dad got involved, got involved, and their daughter lived in Australia, and that's how this all opened up and began in Australia. So timing was very important to me. And then our company, we have solid 20, 25 years of network marketing experience. Our corporate staff has all that experience. So everything is lining up perfectly. And so you have an opportunity today to look at this and make a decision. Do you want to just get on the product, or do you see the potential of this business? And ask yourself, are you looking for more out of life? Are you looking to help other people? Do you love to help other people? Do you like to talk to people, right? Do you want to make a difference in the world? Because I believe that's what we are doing. That is what we're doing. We're making a difference in the world because we are changing and blessing so many lives. I know that I was meant to find out about this, because I think when you pray and you meditate and you're looking for something and it comes to you, there's a reason for it. And so what I found out several years later, after being on the product and feeling great, is that I still had a blood, well, I found that I found the diagnosis of what I had in my blood, and it's called multiple myeloma. And multiple myeloma is a blood cancer, and typically 4 to 5 years to live. So if in 2007 is when I did my first test, but today is 2017, so 10 years. So I've surpassed the 4 to 5 years. I feel amazing. I feel healthy, healthier than I've ever felt. I've been on this product for 7 years. So I can't tell you that it's, you know, curing, treating, or preventing me, but all I know is that my body, I worked in a very toxic environment and with benzene exposure. And benzene exposure leads to blood disorders, blood cancers. So I really believe that's probably where this came from, unfortunately. But I have something today in my body that's fighting it and that's beating it. So, and I know that you probably have someone in your life that you want to change their health, that you want to bless them. So really think of joining us on this journey and blessing lives and changing lives, because it's just amazing what we have. So to get involved, please get back to the person that, let me check how much time I have here. Oh, just on time. Please get back to the person that invited you on this webinar and let them know, hey, no, I'm not interested. That's okay. Or let them know, yeah, I want to get on that product right away. Great. Or let them know that you're looking at the business side of it, and sit with them and let them explain to you how to get involved. We have a couple of different ways to get involved to become a distributor, and then they can go through the compensation plan and how it all works with you and go through those details if you're really serious. And I almost forgot to tell you, we have 2 products in Australia. So we have the Protandim. They took that science, and Protandim, let me tell you, you can give it to your dogs, cats, horses, cows. We have people to give it to. If your animal, your pet breathes in oxygen, it's oxidizing. We have amazing stories with pets having results. And that is not a placebo effect, because you give it to your dog and he has no idea what he's taking, and he could be dragging his not feeling well because of, you know, some of those older dogs, the joints, and have arthritis. And within 30 days, you will see a difference in that dog. And he has no idea. He just thinks he's taking a little treat from you. So, and then we took that science and we put it into a skincare line. And so that's what's available in Australia. The Nrf2 supplement and the skincare line that helps with the fine lines and aging. I, you know, am, well, almost 53 in another month. And I personally don't think that I have those wrinkles that I think I would have had without being on this product for 7 years. I used to have really dark circles, and that's, to me, the one thing the anti-aging cream helped with was with the dark circles. I hardly put any makeup on now, and I used to plaster it on to cover it. So yeah, the younger you are getting on this anti-aging, so now you're repairing your cellular damage inside your body and on the outside of your body. Twofold, fighting it 2 ways. So get back to the person that invited you on this. I would love to meet all of you. Coincidentally, I will be in Australia, getting there on June 16th. And June 17th, we're going to have a training in Brisbane, and I hope you can all attend. We're going to have a meeting just like this. So invite more folks and invite people, get them in your car, have them come and hear about this no matter what their story is. We'll go more in depth into the product and what it can do. And you can hear lots of people's stories of what it's done for them. And so bring loved ones that you care about that may have health issues, bring them. And bring others that you know this could change their life financially. This could put their life in a whole other level. Bring them to hear about this. And then we'll have a meeting on June 22nd on Thursday in Brisbane. And then June 23rd will be in Melbourne. And then June 24th, we will be in Sydney. And then I'll be flying back home. So I hope to meet you all while I'm there. I'm going to turn it back over to either Charlotte or Janelle to wrap it up.
Wow, wow, wow. Oh my gosh, you want to see the messages in this chat. People are just so looking forward to meeting you, Maria. So thank you so much. Your story is so touching. And the way you explain Protandim and what it does in the body is just beautiful, because it's simple and we can all understand that. So there is a question in the chat, and it's from Bailey, and he just wanted to know what appealed to you about Protandim and how exactly did you get involved? Now, I know you mentioned your neighbor said to you, got to watch this video, but maybe if you just want to elaborate a little bit on what appealed to you, what was the thing that said to you, I've really got to take notice of this?
You know, it was that ABC investigative report. It was that science. When I saw that, and like I said, I knew enough about antioxidants that they were good, but when I realized that this was your body making its own antioxidant enzymes and it was much more potent, you know, it's like having the smartphone and a flip phone, right? You rarely see a flip phone. Why? Because everyone's on the iPhone, everyone's on a Samsung. We're on smartphones, right? We do everything with this. That's what we have our hands on. Antioxidants are a thing of the past. Nrf2 activation is the future. So it's not supplementation anymore, it's activation. It's activating your body to turn on the right things for it to heal itself. So you know, I have people that show me tons of different products, and all they are, they're antioxidants, and that's a 1-to-1 ratio. And this was a whole new level of nutrigenomics, is what it's called, the science. It's nutrition for your genes. So that is what caught my attention, because this wasn't another antioxidant. So I like to tell people, do you want to go back to the flip phone? No. We want our smartphone, right? We want to be able to text and call people around the world, use it as a computer. It does everything for us. So that's what Nrf2 activation is. It's that smartphone that we have.
Well, that's my takeaway from this morning. You know, supplementation is replaced by activation. And how true is that? So really, you know, the old way of just going to a health shop and getting an antioxidant supplement is no longer the smartphone, right? That's the flip phone.
Right.
The smartphone, yeah, I love that analogy. The smartphone, guys, is Nrf2 activation. And how incredibly blessed are we that we have this product. It's the only one in Australia. There is no product like this. It is unique, and really every person should be on it. So guys, we're going to wrap this up. Maria, we are so grateful for your time. I can see in the chat people are saying you are going to blow Australia away. You're going to draw a big crowd. So we are so grateful that you're coming out, and can't wait to see you just in a few days' time. So safe journeys for you all the way here to Australia. And thanks so much again. Guys, thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you to our guests. If you have any questions, and as Maria said, please go back to the person that invited you, chat with them, and let's get you onto Protandim as soon as possible. So guys, have an awesome weekend here in Australia and wherever you are in the world. And this meeting is officially wrapped. Thank you.